Check one, check one. Welcome back to an all new episode of Let's Talk Lions live. Today, we're going to be recapping the draft. It's been a few days. I hope you've all brought your coffee. Let me know in the chat. Can you guys hear me? Can you see me? Does it all look good? Sound good? Does it feel good? All in all, let me know how it sounds in the chat. What's happening, everybody? I see Cameron, Woj, my man, Lions fan, one Poly LFP. We got Big West, Kivian in the house. Steve Addison, Trevor Boyle. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to an all new Let's Talk Lions live. Good to have you here. Got my coffee, just trying to make it through a Saturday. Well, so the draft has finally happened. You know what's interesting? Somebody even, I think it was somebody by the name of Nameless Stranger. They posted on one of my recent videos. Basically, I kind of brought it up, and I was like, you know what? Draft fatigue is over. Thank God, like the draft has come, it has gone, and I'm really thankful for that because you kind of get to a point where you look at all of the possible scenarios, situations, A, B, C through Z. And at some point, you're just like, okay, can it just happen? But now that it's over, we're all stuck in limbo land until the season kicks off, it feels like. And we got quite some time until that happens. So, yeah, we're going to kind of go over the draft, go over rounds 1 through 7. For those of you who are wondering, regarding undrafted free agents, I have a ton of videos coming out this week regarding all of them. So I am going to stray away from talking about that a little bit just because I have a ton of content coming out for you guys this week where we're going to break it down. Good morning, Steve DeYoung, my man. Lions fan, you're drinking Speedway coffee. I'm sorry, bro. That's rough. That's a bold move. Bold move. Yeah, so you know what? There's a lot of stuff on the plate. First thing that I do want to talk about, just to get it off of our chest here, Aaron Rodgers. The whole Aaron Rodgers discussion. I don't know about you guys. I just saw, if anybody watches, I think it's Microphone is his name. Great YouTuber, covers all NFL information. He just threw out a video basically being like, this has all been made up. The whole Aaron Rodgers, top to bottom, is he leaving Green Bay? He didn't have a source, and he just threw it out there, and it created all of this drama during the draft. And that's a huge bummer because, A, we bought into the drama. I bought into the drama. I don't know about you, but I did. I bought into Aaron Rodgers possibly leaving. But quite frankly, I'm glad Aaron Rodgers isn't leaving the Packers because there's one part of me where I'm like, you know what? Like, if he leaves, that would be wonderful because I can't stand the dude. But another part of me is like, I want the Lions to get good. I want the Lions to become what they look like they're going to become. And I want to trounce Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. That's what I want. That's what I want. I don't want to see him run away. I think of like the Buffalo Bills, right? The Buffalo Bills finally get good and Tom Brady leaves. Tom Brady gets out of there. And now, it's like this, well, you never got to beat the Patriots while Brady was there. So that feeling is lingering. And I don't want that as a Lions fan. As a Lions fan, I want to murk Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Ian Saunders coming through. Adam Schefter basically said it was based on accumulation. That's a good point. A year's worth of an accumulation of anger and thoughts and all of top to bottom. Totally makes sense. Wow. So there is much to talk about. Obviously, right off the bat, I'm sorry, guys. Somebody asked me, Kyle Massey asked, how did the Ragnow press conference, or how'd you like that Ragnow press conference? Had me tearing up. Yo, if you guys did not watch Ragnow's press conference after being given he's the highest paid center in the NFL at this point. If you didn't watch his press conference, I highly recommend that you do. It was beautiful. Beautiful. That guy's heart, how he feels being able to get that extension. Because we have him now through 2026. Like, our O-line is Beautiful. I put out a video earlier this week about how stacked our O-line is just based off of the five in the front, from Decker to Ragnow to Sewell on the side, obviously Vitae and Jackson. Like between those five guys, our O-line is stacked. Top 10, I think top five. I really do. When I look at these guys and I look at them, and plus you got like Hawk off to the side, I think that the Detroit Lions O-line is absolutely stacked. It's stout, and I'm amped on it. So go check out that press conference. Highly recommend it. Cameron Wojcik, my man, smack the pack. In fact, you know what? The next question, I do believe, comes from you, Cameron Wojcik. If we can somehow acquire Julio Jones and Melvin Ingram, the Lions can be sneaky good in year one of this rebuild. Thoughts? Cameron, great question, my man. Appreciate it. When it comes to those two guys, I don't think we have the draft, or I'm sorry, I don't think we have the capital to get both of them. It's kind of one or the other. And Julio Jones is being paid. Let me just check. I have his number up here somewhere. I think it's something absurd, like $23 million is left on his contract. I just want to be certain before I throw that out there. I think it's 23.05 million per over the cap. So looking at him, Julio Jones is a stud. He's unbelievable. I don't think that's where I'd want to go. I would rather go and grab a guy like Ingram. I think, yes, Melvin Ingram. I think him as a defensive end on this defense that we are building out right now could be huge. So if I had to pick between the two, I would definitely go for Ingram, but I'm not sure how much it would cost to get him in here. If anybody has that number, drop it in the chat. For those of you just joining, welcome back to an all new Let's Talk Lions live, where we're going to be covering the draft, post-draft, kind of where we sit today. Now, I've also had people ask me, looking at now the Lions roster after the draft, where do we sit when it comes to what our record could be? All of these are good questions. Graham Wilkie, my man, what's going on? Welcome back. Yeah, you know what? Our new O-line are the Motown Maulers. I saw that nickname somewhere in there over the week. Great nickname for our O-line. Oh, would I re-sign Adrian Peterson? No. So that's kind of like a huge thing right now. Obviously, Carrion Johnson getting waived and going to Philly. First of all, I hate Philadelphia. I hate the Philadelphia Eagles. Can't stand them. Really, the whole Carrion Johnson situation, as I put out in my video, is really sad because I love Carrion. I think that Carrion had a lot of potential, that his potential was wasted by Matt Patricia, the whole Bob Quinn era. I think that Carrion Johnson got the short end of the stick here in Detroit. When you look at what he did in his rookie year, he obviously broke that 5-year drought of a 100-yard rusher. That was something that was beautiful to see that happen. He had 158 yards he put up against, I believe it was Miami. That was his big coming out game in a way. And then he gets injured game 6 or 7, hurts the knee. Next thing, same thing next year, gets injured. And then last year we looked at him between AP and Swift. Carrion Johnson barely saw the ball. All in all, I'm looking at Carrion Johnson and that whole situation. It is unfortunate how it all panned out, but it makes sense. Philadelphia is a good team for him to go to. He wasn't going to last. Really, when we picked up Jamar Jefferson, I was like, uh-oh, clock's ticking. I thought we would at least get to preseason games and be able to see the two of them duel it out. But obviously, Anthony Lynn, Deuce Staley, Dan Campbell all decided, nah. I like this one. Eagles just clipped their own wings on that one. Yeah, you're not wrong. A Bears fan said we're going 0-17. Do you believe that? That Bears fan is an idiot. So no, not going 0-17. The only team to go 0-17 would be absolutely ridiculous. It's not possible for the Detroit Lions this year. I do not believe so, especially because, hey, we are playing Philadelphia, so there's a win. Good question coming from Stavros Shabra. Do you think we'll be drafting a QB next year? And who do you think, or who do you have in mind? Stavro, appreciate the question. you know what? It all comes down to Jared Goff's play this year. Now, we just gave him protection beyond belief with Penei Sewell, a guy that I am amped to have in Honolulu Blue. So do I think that we go for a QB next year? It all comes down to Jared Goff's performance. And quite frankly, I think Jared Goff is going to ball out this year. And you might look and say, well, how is that possible? Looking at our O-line, the O-line that we just gave Jared Goff with the addition of Penei Sewell, he's going to have time. He's going to have time. Jamal Williams as a running back, dueled with DeAndre Swift. Guys, you have to understand what we're doing. What we're giving is Jared Goff his best shot here in Detroit. I mean, Campbell, Holmes, they are giving him his best opportunity to have success, to find success. So do I think that we go and draft a QB next year? I think it's a coin flip based on Goff's performance. If Goff balls out and leads us to a winning season, no, I don't think so. I think Goff's our guy. I mean, we know that Goff's here through 2022. I've said that multiple times here on the show. So looking at it, Goff is here for this year, for next year as well. Based on his performance this season, all comes down to what you really got from Goff this year. Marcus, my man, appreciate it. You guys will be fine with Swift and Williams and that O-line. Yeah, I agree. I think between that offensive backfield, between that line, I think that we're going to be fine. I think you specifically looking at what we've got coming up, who we're playing, it's going to be a wild season because a couple months ago I did, I looked at the record, or I'm sorry, I looked at who we would be playing. I looked at the schedule and I did a record prediction based on it. And that was back when we had Matt Stafford. That was before Matt Stafford was traded. And it was kind of just like, here's our schedule. Looking at it right now, here's our record. And I'm pretty sure I said we get 5 wins. Now with the draft, now with Jared Goff coming in, now with the undrafted free agents, so much has transpired and still so much more is going to transpire. And so I will be doing a video based on, hey, this is where we are today. This is what I think our record is going to be based on what those teams have done as well. Looking forward to that one. But I'm looking at it, man, and I really think that the Detroit Lions we're going to put up a fight. We're going to put up a fight. Jamal Williams came out the other day, and his quote was amazing, kind of paraphrasing here. Jamal Williams had he was meeting with a guy, I think from Fox Sports, and he said, watch out for the Lions because we're coming with that fire. You're going to have your hands full with us. It's different here in Detroit. We're coming to play. He made it very clear. We are coming out gunning here in Detroit. It's a different atmosphere. It's different leadership. The draft picks. Let's look at it. Penei Sewell, right off the bat. That pick was the pick that proved that it is not the same old Lions. Because what would the same old Lions have done? It would have been, let's draft a wide receiver. Let's grab Smith. Let's grab Waddle. That's what the Detroit Lions would have done in the past. However, the Detroit Lions said, we're getting Penei Sewell. We're protecting our quarterback. And we're building our O-line for years to come. It wasn't hey, we're looking for a one-hit wonder. Let's get the next 2-3 years, have that star wide receiver so that we could sell a bunch of merch. That's not what we're doing here. It's not the same old Lions, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Thank you, that fat man. You calling it out. Jamal Williams interview on NFL Now yesterday. Wasn't Fox. That's my bad. Thanks for catching that. Appreciate it. Yeah, and honestly, even over here, big baby Zubas, Jared Goff is going to come out swinging. It's true. It's true. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this season because even if we do perform poorly as a whole, if we lose these games, there's going to be so much to dissect from this team, from the coaching, from the leadership. All in all, definitely excited about it. Mark is calling it out. The culture shift is happening. It is. It is. This is not the same old Lions in the locker room either. The culture shift is happening. I think that the Detroit Lions are creating something where people are going to want to be here. I'm just saying, hey, maybe you disagree. That's totally fine. I'm okay with that. I think that the culture shift is happening. What's going on? My guy, Micro Mike, Detroit Lions Talk with Micro Mike. Dude, what's going on? Good to see you. Wow. And we've also got Big Baby Zupa's dropping in a super sticker for $149. Thank you, good sir, for your generous heart. Guys, for those of you that are like, hey, you know what? I appreciate the donations. I really do. Another way that you can really just help me, help this channel, Let's Talk Lions, share it with your friends that are Lions fans. That gets my name out there, gets the word out there that we're doing something good here for the Detroit Lions. So I appreciate it. Share the channel with your friends or just with your grandmothers, because grandmothers support you like none other, because they're a grandma, and that's what grandmas do. Took that one way too far. We're good. Yeah, you know what? I also had a really good question come in from Wolfster106. How long do you think Lions fans will allow for Campbell and Holmes to rebuild before asking for their resignation? What do you think the hope or the roadmap for the Lions looks like? Yo, that is a phenomenal question, because let's face it, what do Lions fans do? Guys, I'm just going to call it out. We are a jaded fan base. I've said that before. We get antsy, and the angst grows quickly. And so something beautiful about Campbell and Holmes is that it's really a culture dynamic shift. It's a change. That's something that's different that we've never had before here in Detroit. Not only are they saying all the right words, but they're following suit with their action. That's new. So how long will it take before Lions fans start getting pissy, start getting a little upset and call for the resignation of Holmes and Campbell? Great question. Drop your thoughts in the chat. How long do you think it'll be? For me, I'm not saying how I will react. I think that Lions fans, you give it 2 seasons, and if they're not seeing the change, if Lions fans aren't seeing actual progression with players, with development, 2 years in, they're going to be calling for their heads. It's just classic Lions fans. For me, you got to give this regime 3 years. You got to. Because of how much is changing, you have to give them minimally 3 years before you start kind of looking around saying, okay, we might be losing, but what else is going on? What's happening behind the scenes? Even if the Detroit Lions don't get that playoff win, even if the Lions struggle, at what point do you say, okay, you guys got to get out of here? Because if they are changing the culture of Detroit and people want to come here, and we get to the playoffs, maybe we lose, man, it's so hard, because Detroit Lions fans want it. They want it bad. We want it bad. I want it bad. But improvement, here's a great point coming in. I'm sorry, I just missed it. I saw it. It's gone. Somebody said 3 years. I totally missed it. 15 years. Detroit Micro Mike calling it in. Give us 15 years. Primetime Play saying 3 years, and we'll be back to this. It's a fair assessment. However, looking at what they're doing right now, right here, right now, there's already so much change. The improvement feels so legitimate based on the draft, based on the 1 year signings, based on everything we've done so far, that you got to give them minimally 3 years before you start scratching your head. And so what does that defined success look like? That's another question that you got to ask. Because if you're sitting there and you're like, well, I'm going to start calling for their heads if we don't have a playoff win. Well, I hate to say it, but Matt Stafford didn't get us one of those in the last 12 years. You know, the last coaching staff didn't get us that in the last 12 years. So is it fair to say that the playoff win is the determining factor? Is it? That's what I'm asking you. Is it to you? Is that playoff win the determining factor for you guys to be like, no, it's not enough. I want more. Get these guys out of here. Quite frankly, if we see basic improvement of player development, of a culture change that people want to play in Detroit, maybe we get to the playoffs by year 3, but we lose that game. Yo, I am on board. I am on the Hogwarts Express with Campbell and Co. until that playoff win. And I look at that and I see we could have a playoff win by 2023. Just my opinion. Wow, we got another donation coming in from Jonathan Bear, my man. Thank you, good sir, for the donation. I really appreciate it. He said, unpopular opinion, it's not Dan and Holmes. It's Sheila Ford knowing how to run an organization, unlike her parents. Bro, maybe that is an unpopular opinion, but I agree with you. I agree with you with the fact that it starts from the top down. And Sheila is doing it right. Jonathan, dude, you're 100% correct. Sheila Ford is making a difference. Her parents, all they wanted were to fill the seats. All they wanted were to sell some merch. All they wanted was to know that if the Lions go 9-7 and we give a little bit of hope to the people, they'll come back next year. Well, Sheila's like, screw that. I want a W. I want to win. I want the Lions to be more. Sheila is absolutely changing the face of Detroit. And I think you're right, where it's easy for people to look and just go, you know what? Brad Holmes, he's doing it. Dan Campbell, they're doing it. They're the guys. Yo, it comes from the top down. Leadership comes from the very top down. And Sheila has absolutely made the difference. Way to spot that, Jonathan. Appreciate you dropping that in there, man. Lions out here leveling up and multi-classing. That is absolutely accurate. Yo, the XP is just coming through the roof. Oh, you might be a level 1 bard, but you just made it to level 2. So now you can add that spell slot. It's a wild time here in Detroit. Great call, Trevor, my man. Just win, baby. Yeah. Let's see here. I think I saw another question come on in. Just try to grab it. Yeah, Ian Saunders calling it out. Hey, if we get winning seasons and then we take the North, I'll be satisfied, and then we can go more forward. It's an excellent point. You can't just sit here and be like, oh, well, I just want to win a playoff game. Guys, let's win the freaking North. Let's win the North first. That's what I want. I want the Detroit Lions to win the North, because the last time they did it was what, 92, 93 maybe? I mean, that's my entire lifetime that we haven't won the North, and that is no bueno. That's the first step. Detroit Lions win the North. After that, I'll take a playoff win. I just want to win the division. Absolutely. Yeah, Big Baby Zuba's calling it out. Jonathan Bear, well done. It is Sheila's team now. Let's see here. Should be pushing for the playoffs. Absolutely. Absolutely. But again, I want the North. You know what? Another guy that I saw that I wanted to kind of talk about is, what's his name? Levi. I don't want to pronounce it incorrectly. He was our defensive tackle, Levi Onwuzurike. I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. It's wild. There are consonants where vowels should be. It makes zero sense. But I believe his last name is pronounced Onwuzurike. Levi Onwuzurike. Yo, this guy came out after getting drafted by the Lions, and his words, I'm not going to repeat them on air, but he basically said, I like fucking people up. Like, he likes bleeping effing dudes up. Like, that's what he wants to do. There is a pattern here. When you look at every draft pick that the Lions have made this year, Dan Campbell knows what he wants. Dan Campbell wants the guys that are tough, that are resilient, that are going to get out there and keep fighting to the very end. And you see that in Penei Sewell. You see that in Levi Onwuzurike. You see that all the way down to the very bottom where we picked up Jamar Jefferson in round 7. The Lions are drafting tough guys, all grit players, even with Jamar Jefferson being what? He was drafted 257, whatever, second, third to last in the draft. They're all tough guys, and I love it. I love that. Hey, you know what? They're sticking to their guns. Campbell has a vision, and he's following it. Oh, here we go. From his Twitter, Onwuzurike. There it is. Well done. I felt like a third grader trying to get that out there. Yeah, here's a great one coming from Stacy Burton. Amon-Ra was the steal of the draft. Yo, that was huge. When I look at Amon-Ra St. Brown, absolutely a steal for the Lions. I really think that the Lions made a ton of steals. We were playing Steal the Bacon back in the 4th grade in gym class. Remember the game where you and another guy have to run out, grab the bacon in the middle of the gym floor, and then try to get back to the other side before the guy tags you? Steal the Bacon. Great game. Loved that game. Honestly, I might go play it with a couple friends after this. Like, that sounds like a good time. We were playing Steal the Bacon during that draft with every single pick that we made. Look at him, Aleem McNeil, and how bummed the Philadelphia Eagles were after we drafted Aleem McNeil. Like, huge. All in all, the Lions made a ton of great plays, or a ton of great picks However, Amon Ra getting that slot wide receiver, to me, I think he's going to be perfect in the slot. A huge pickup for Detroit. All right, let's see here. Lions fan one parlay, Jamar Jefferson or Carrion Johnson. Jamar Jefferson, because Carrion Johnson is a glass china doll. Listen, dude, I said it before. I love Carrion. I'm really bummed that this is how his career has played out here in Detroit. I think his talent was wasted under Bob Quinn, Matt Patricia. But Jamar Jefferson is going to be, I really do believe, phenomenal. Quick feet, great at changing direction. His size is actually pretty good for a running back. I look at him, and for an RB3 position, Jamar Jefferson all day. Good question, though. Appreciate it. Yeah, Ufty calling it out. Happy that we got Amon Ra. We needed a wide receiver. Quite frankly, I expected us to grab one in the third round. I loved what we did by trading and having those back-to-back picks, selecting Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then linebacker from Purdue, I believe from Purdue, Derek Barnes. Huge move getting those back-to-back picks. Loved them. Yeah, R-Mac calling it out. Great draft by the Lions. Steve DeYoung, when we drafted McNeil, such a beautiful moment. Because let me put it this way. I hate Philadelphia. I hate the Eagles with all my heart. Can't stand them. And so watching them be so flustered, so upset, so heartbroken, just the demoralized feeling that they had when the Lions selected Derek Barnes or Lee McNeil, that moment was huge for me. There was so much joy to watch them feel the pain. Let's see here. Now, anybody else have any questions? Feel free to drop them in. For those of you just joining, welcome back to an all-new episode of Let's Talk Lions Live, where we're recapping the draft. I'm answering your questions. And just hanging out, talking Lions, man. That's what we do here. What are your thoughts on the other steal of Fatu Melon? God, these guys' names. I'm sorry. I don't want to butcher it. Melanawu, right? Ifatu Melanawu is how I believe that you pronounce his name. Just giving it my best bet. What are my thoughts on him? Lockdown cornerback. Guys, I'm telling you, everything that we did in this draft, I have a good friend reached out to me, not a fan of the Lions, and he's a Patriots fan, and he was just like, yo, you guys did it right for the first time ever. Like, this is huge because we didn't just do it right in the first round with Penei Sewell. We did it right in round 2 and in round 3 and 4 and 7. Like, we got it done. The Lions got it done. We did it well. I think he's a steal. I think every single guy that the Lions picked up, I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, we have done it. The Detroit Lions have done it. Getting Brad Holmes in here was huge. The guy knows what he's doing. I'm so thankful to have a GM that knows what he's doing. Appreciate it. Death Fat Man, my guy, you are just bringing in all of the proper pronunciation, enunciation, all the atiations. Appreciate it, my man. Yeah, if he's a stud. I do like that that's his nickname. That makes it easy. If he is a stud, I really think him in the cornerback position, you pair him up, obviously, with our already cornerbacks, Jeff Okudah. I really think that the Detroit Lions this year is going to be interesting because part of me thinks, oh man, we're probably going to lose a lot of these games, looking up at the teams that we're stacked up against. But another part of me is looking and I'm like, man, we have put together a really good roster in year 1 of the retool. Now, there is the huge bummer that happened with obviously Josh Hill. That whole situation, watching him come in for a 1-year contract and then just retiring out of the blue after the draft. I didn't love that. I feel like he should have done that maybe before the draft. All in all, what was he going to be? He was going to be a great blocking tight end. That's where he excelled. So we pick up Fells from, right? Darren Fells, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Drop it in the chat. But yeah, bringing him up, shoot, yo. I think that he's going to fill the position that we need to have filled. He's a good player. He's a stud of a human being. I'm glad to get him in here, but I did not like the way that happened. yeah, Cameron Wojcik, we could legitimately be the Cinderella team this year when you look at what the Browns did. Yeah, 100%. Or what San Francisco did 2 years ago. Like, they were the team that was from worst to first. The Detroit Lions could very well be a worst to much better wild card contender player, maybe get that W. Yeah, all in all, quite frankly, yeah, you're looking at this Graham Wilkie this year. We're either going 3-14 or 10-7, no in between. Not a bad assessment. Yeah, I think the Detroit Lions, I really do think that we will land somewhere in between there. 6-11. Our schedule is very tough. Our schedule is very, very tough. Yes, Lions fan one, Paulie LFP. Sorry to break the news to you here live today. He absolutely retired. Absolutely retired. Kind of a really, really sad moment for the Detroit Lions. Just watching him go. For those of you just joining, thank you for joining Let's Talk Lions live today, this Saturday. What are you guys drinking? Drop it in the chat. I saw somebody drinking Speedway coffee. Not the best decision for your health or for your taste buds, but you know what? I don't blame you. I don't blame you. All right, we got a question coming in from my guy donating, Big Baby Zubas. What's the best undrafted free agent? Yo, man, I appreciate you dropping that question, and I really appreciate the donation. Very sweet of you, very kind. Couldn't thank you enough. When looking at all of ours, let's just look at the undrafted free agent signings for now, top to bottom. Running back Rakeem Boyd from Arkansas. Running back Dedrick Mills from Nebraska. We got 3 wide receivers from Sage Surratt, Javon McKinley, Jonathan Adams Jr. We've got tight ends Brock Wright and Jake Houseman. Guard Tommy Kramer. Center Drake Jackson. Linebacker Tavante Beckett. We got DB D'Angelo Amos. And 2 cornerbacks between Jerry Jacobs and AJ Parker. If I had to pick one, that is my favorite. It's Sage Surratt out of Wake Forest. I think that he is going to have the greatest impact immediately out of all those guys. Plus, he's a baller. Go watch some highlights of him. Go watch some film. I think that Sage is going to be huge for the Detroit Lions because we know that our wide receiver room is a little bit, I'm not going to say that the depth isn't there, but I think that we have a lot of speedy guys. We got a lot of fast dudes that can get separation. And that's one thing, even when you look at Amon-Ra St. Brown, his separation isn't great, but his route running is phenomenal. The ball skills are phenomenal. And so I'm excited to see Surratt come here. Had a couple guys hit me up once we picked him up. They were like, darn you. That's who I wanted. Excellent, excellent pickup. Ooh, Dorian Garland, my man, appreciate the donation. It's extremely kind of you. What are your thoughts on our linebacker core and the new 3-4 defense? Good or bad move? Quite frankly, I love it. I love it. Now, the linebacker room, very specifically, I'm a little bit, I think I want more depth there. I do, because you all know that I wanted Micah Parsons. I wanted that animal instinct. I wanted the guy who was vicious. I look at Derek Barnes and watching a lot of his tape, a lot of his film. I love him. I think he's going to be phenomenal for the Lions. But something that I'm not the biggest fan of, and I'm just going to call it out, is Jamie Collins. I'm just not a huge fan of Jamie Collins. I don't think he's worth the money that we're spending. And so I want to see some other young guys come in and add that depth. Obviously, you look at our free agency, we picked up Tavante Beckett out of Marshall. Not a bad pickup, but to me, I would love to see us. I wanted Micah Parsons. He goes to Dallas. I think that we need more depth in the linebacker room and somebody very vicious. I want a vicious player. I want a vicious linebacker. That's what I want. Yeah. Also, our Mac, thank you. He answered the Adrian Peterson question. I did. Hell nah, that is the answer. We cannot resign Adrian Peterson. I'm sorry. AP's days here in Detroit are over. I think he was great for the locker room. However, we are a young buck team. We got Jamal Williams. We got Swift. We've got, obviously, Jamar Jefferson. All in all, Adrian Peterson's days are over. And I don't want to back. I think he was a great 1-year move for the Lions. Yeah, you know what, Anthony? Anthony, I'm going to go with Santles. I'm going to think that T is silent. Just going to throw a D20 out there. Hope I roll a 15 or higher. That's why the draft was so nice. Almost every one of those picks has a chance to succeed through our weaknesses in depth. Love Barnes and Amon Ra. Bro, you nailed it. That's absolutely true. I think every one of these guys have a chance to succeed, not only through depth, but through who our coaches are. Look at this coaching staff that we've put together for these young men coming up out of college here today. I look at this and I'm like, yo, I think that all of these draft picks have a chance to succeed under Anthony Lynn, Deuce Staley, Campbell at the helm. Man, I mean, all the way even to special teams with Thip. Like, I'm excited. I'm excited for these guys coming in. And I think that with the coaching staff that we've put together, everybody has not only a chance to succeed, but to actually go off, to pop off, and to be more. Yeah, appreciate it, Anthony. Appreciate it. Thanks. Good question. Kyle, my man. Good morning. Kyle, I answered your question earlier. So if you just scrub through the early, I think I hit your question first. Thank you for the question earlier. Appreciate it. Yeah. Let's see here. We've got another question, or not a question, from Go Lions. D Barnes from Purdue is a start. Need one or two more linebackers. Absolutely. Derek Barnes will be a starter. I agree, but I want more depth at the linebacker position. You know what? I got a question coming in here from Lions fan one Paulie. There's not a lot of teams that I hate. I don't hate the Saints. There's just a few teams that I can't stand. It's the Green Bay Packers. It's the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's the New England Patriots, because my brother's a huge Bills fan. And so watching him suffer was me suffering through his despair. What's going to be the Lions record? Great question, Owen Posniak. I said earlier that I'm going to be putting out a video in a little bit regarding what I think our record will be. I think the Lions are going to land anywhere from 6-11 to an 8-9 season. I do not believe that the Lions have a winning record. However, it also depends on how does Aaron Rodgers play out. What if Aaron Rodgers leaves Green Bay? I think that Detroit beats Green Bay twice. I really do. Without Aaron Rodgers, I think the Detroit Lions beat Green Bay 2 times this season. But if he is there, you might split if you're lucky. Otherwise, we're losing both games. Could go either way. And so I think that Green Bay is the real teetering point for the Detroit Lions. Will we have a winning record or not? How about the Bears going and getting Justin Fields? Wild. And you know what? They can have him. They can have him sitting behind the Red Rocket. Good riddance. Best of luck to the Bears, but also hope you do not succeed at all. Kyle, did I have a question? I don't know. You know what, Kyle? That's my bad. You did not. I'm thinking of a different Kyle. Forgive me, my man. I'm reading this quick. Sorry about that, dude. And you know what? And if you didn't have a question, I would have answered yours. I would have. Hey, Thomas, my man, I appreciate it. Just want to say you're looking good today. You know why? It's because I'm rocking the Honolulu blue. Dude, this jacket, I can't get enough of it. First of all, it's freezing outside. It was like 40 degrees. Went on a walk and I was like, oh my God, I'm freezing. This jacket is the bomb. I appreciate your kind words. It means a lot. Thank you. Yeah, you know what? Anthony Santos coming in. Dude, I got to tell you, the offensive line is going to be so tough for defenses to deal with. Swift and Hawkinson will benefit tremendously. And Goff has now a great chance to be sneaky good. Yo, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Drop it in the chat. How do you think that Goff will perform now? Because I'm going to tell you this. When we got Goff, I was like, all right, you know what? Goff isn't in the top tier QB, but he's good. He's good enough, and I think he's going to have success in Detroit. Then we draft Penei Sewell. Now I'm like, Goff will have success in Detroit, but I want to hear what you guys think. Drop it in the chat. How do you feel that Goff will perform here in Detroit? Yo, Steve DeYoung, my man, that offensive line is a huge vote of confidence for Goff. Absolutely. 100%. Goff is going to get back there and be like, oh, you know what? I'm safe. I don't have to run for my life. You have more time to allow the play to unfold. It's going to be great. Steve DeYoung, Burrow, jealous of the jacket. Goodwill. Everybody, Goodwill. Go to Goodwill. It's always good stuff there. Let's see here. Yeah, you know what? Primetime plays. Appreciate that. He was the number one pick for a reason. Absolutely. Absolutely. He was the number one pick for a reason. And you know what? Brad Holmes believing in him out in LA. He goes to LA. He's got 3 or 4 winning seasons under his belt. He's got an NFC championship W. He's got a Super Bowl appearance. I think people have just forgotten. I think they've forgotten. I think it's just like, well, you know what? Goff's not good enough. Good riddance. Shoot, yo. I'll take him. One man's trash is another man's treasure. 100%. Just open up that little Folgers box in the ground. You're like, whoa, what's in here? Army men? A kite? I don't know. And you're like, what are you talking about? I don't know. Forgive me. Just got excited. Got excited. All right, let's see here. Some people say that Fields is better than Goff. If I was Goff, I would be publicly not that mad, but privately, I'd be pissed. Yo, listen what? Justin Fields hasn't played one game in the NFL. People, look at Tua. What did Tua say last year after that first game? And he was like, oh, the NFL's not that hard. Literally. Or the NFL's easier than I thought. NFL's not that hard. Either way, he came out and was like, yeah, this isn't that difficult. And then got pummeled for the rest of the season. Couldn't handle it. Had to get taken out. They put in Fitzpatrick to save the little boy from dying. So, you know what? Justin Fields hasn't played one day out on the green. You can't compare somebody who's playing in college to somebody who's actually gone to the Super Bowl. People could believe what they want. I don't care. Goff is great. Goff is great, and he's going to get it done. He has experience. Edward calling it out. He's got experience with everything. Literally winning, losing, Super Bowl lose. Like, all in all, I look at Goff. I'm excited. A lot of people don't like it, but, you know. Good question coming in. We got Owen Posniak. We will get. Do you think I'm gonna do a little subtitle here, like you're reading an article? You know, they put it in brackets. Do you think we will get Melvin Ingram? No, I do not think that we will get him. However, if we did, I would love it. I'd be all about it. I think Melvin Ingram is a stud, and the Detroit Lions could absolutely benefit from having Ingram here. However, I don't think that it's gonna happen, but I'd be totally down for it. Batman showing up. Goff will be exactly what the Lions need. Love the show as always. Batman, thank you for your donation. You are far too kind. Really appreciate it. God, I can't thank you guys enough for donating and for sharing this channel with your friends. If you can't, don't feel bad. If you don't want to donate, you don't have the money to donate, I don't care. Just share it with your friends. You doing that gets my name out there. That's what's important. But thank you, Batman. Appreciate it. Yeah, Goff is going to be exactly what the Lions need. I'm 100% with you. He is what we need. And you know what? I know that Matt Stafford never had the pieces around him to get it done in his 12 years. Never had the right pieces all at the same time to get it done. But I'm just going to say this. Matt Stafford never won us a playoff game. We might have gotten there on the wild card. We never got the division. All in all, I'm glad we have Goff. It was time to part ways with Stafford. And I'll always be thankful for what he gave us. He gave us his all. He gave the city his all. Like, him and his wife really did love the city of Detroit and always will. And I'm so thankful for Stafford. But it was time to move forward. And I think it was the right move. So, yeah, I'm with you, man. Jay, are you suiting up at wide receiver this season for the Lions? Someone's got to fill the positions, bro. I'd be so bad. But I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm going to make this crazy promo video for me to be a water boy for one home game for the Lions. Then I'm going to need you all to tweet at the Lions for me when I create it, for me to be a water boy, just running out in the field. I'd be such a good water boy. Plus, all I'd be doing I would just be encouraging the players with every squirt. I'd be like, you're the best. Go get them. I don't know. I'd come up with things. I'd probably have a note card or like write stuff on my hands. I'd be a fantastic water boy. Just going to say it. Positive encouragement while squeezing water at these guys' faces. Good on, son. All right, let's see here. Let's start the petition. I'm in. It's going to be a good time. Will Holmes and crew still continue to look to free agents to fill other needs and depth? I mean, I got to say yes. Absolutely. I think we absolutely have to, especially as I was talking earlier. Dorian asked a great question regarding the linebackers. I think that we need to beef up the linebacker core. And that's an area that I got to say, that's something that we got to do. It's something that we got to do. So, yes, 100%, I do believe so. Jay, how about the hype videos that will be hitting YouTube this year with the Campbell presser and Sewell's pancakes? Oh, God, yes. I mean, I'm totally down for it. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm not going to lie. I'm absolutely tired of the whole biting the kneecap bit that every NFL, I'm sorry, national sports media host will bring up and like, oh, the kneecaps. I'm like, okay, we all get it. We all get it. Just shut up about it. I'm just because I don't know about you. I'm hyped on it. Say what you want, but I'm ready, man. I'm ready. Yeah, let's go. I got another question. Bobby Blue Shea Water. That's good. Why did you take a break after your 3 videos on the channel? Not sure what that means at all, but we're just going to continue. Appreciate it. Appreciate the question, my man. All right. An odd question coming in, but what are your favorite teams in all the other major sports? Graham Wilkie. I appreciate the question. Great one. You got to root. Yeah, it's Wings. It's Tigers. And I mean, from there, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't care about basketball at all. I don't like the noises. And I know that's an odd thing. That's an odd answer, but I hate the buzzer that blasts in your ears. I can't stand sneakers just squeaking on hardwood floor, just constantly, just squeak, 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 squeak. I'm like, these noises I don't enjoy. I love going to a baseball game because the noises are so mellow. The ball, the crack of a bat, you got some guy yelling at you popcorn and he throws it past your face and you're like, oh my God, I love going to a baseball game. But yeah, root for the Tigers, root for the Wings and the Lions. Growing up, I lived out in New Jersey. So I was actually a Red Sox fan back when the curse existed. Those were tough days. And over time, after moving out here, I was like, all right, come on, the Red Sox. Plus, I like a good underdog. So that's where I root for these other teams. CJ, yo, my man, welcome. Good to have you here. Yeah, NBA sucks. You know what's interesting about the NBA? I hate that the players run the show. I hate that I hate that they move around as much as they do from team to team. Like there's something about the NBA that feels like there is zero loyalty at all. And I don't like that. I don't like that. I liked growing up and you knew who was on. Like, that's why I liked baseball. Felt like guys signed on for like 30 years. They were like, hey, from the age of 20 to 50, I'm going to be on this team. Look at Derek Jeter. He played for the Yanks for what, 20 years? Like, I loved the loyalty of baseball. Who's our wide receiver 1 from Stacy Burton? Not Stafy. Stacy Burton, wide receiver 1. Yo, great question. I feel like it's going to be Williams, right? I feel like it's got to be Tyrell Williams. I mean, it's between him or Perriman has the potential, but I really do think it will be Williams. Looking at Williams, yo, man, that guy is underrated. I think that Terrell Williams is going to come out there and go off. If he can stay healthy, not get injured, Terrell Williams is going to be a stud for the Lions. He didn't play at all last year, and I think that's really kind of hurt him. And a lot of people look and they're like, oh, Terrell Williams, it's whatever. It's whatever. He's a wide receiver 2 or 3 anyway. Nah, I think he's our wide receiver 1. Yeah. Big Baby Zoo was calling it out. National media always wants the Lions to be the joke of the league. These narratives are going to change. And you're not wrong. They love, they have the teams that they push to the forward. It's always going to be the Packers. It's always going to be the Pats. And then until a team emerges as an actual contender, and then they'll change their narrative. Narratives suck. I'm just going to call it out for what it is. I hate narratives of the national media. That's why I don't watch any national media. I don't watch, whether it's politics and news like that, or it's even sports. I'm like, I don't have time for all your nonsense. And then I go and I do my own research, do my digging. You listen to both sides, you figure it out, and you're like, wow, now I've come to my conclusion. All in all. Wow. Oh, Dead Fat Man coming in with a huge Stacy. That's funny. You're the worst. That was amazing. Good for you, man. Oh, man. Yeah, I think all in all, if anybody else has any other questions, drop them in there. And if not, we'll wrap this baby up. We'll go to a close. All in all, looking at the draft, looking at where we are right now. I'm excited for the Detroit Lions. I'm excited for how we went through the draft. I think that every single pick was a steal in and of its own way. You know what I mean? Like, of course, Amon-Ra St. Brown should not have dropped to where he did. So for the Lions to be able to snag him, I was like, in the fourth round, yo, I'm all about it. I thought that he was going to go quicker. When I look at Ali McNeil, I think that that's a huge pickup. The two defensive tackles, the trenches. We are building out the trenches in Detroit, and I love it. I think that all in all, the Detroit Lions are going about this the right way. Those are words I've not ever said in the last years. I mean, like, there's dust on those words, but I think that the Lions are going about it the right way. Lion Rumble 81, I appreciate the donation. $4.99, you are the man. Thank you, good sir. Hashtag 313 State of Mind, roaring in Vegas. My guy, thank you for the kind donation. Appreciate it. For those of you just joining, thank you. We are wrapping up here. I appreciate it. Every Saturday, Det Fat Man, love the show. Hope it's a long-standing tradition. Let's go. Here's my thing. You know what? I could do it at night on a Friday. I could do it at night on a Thursday. But the reason I do Saturday mornings is because it's so much more chill. To me, grab a cup of Joe. You guys grab a cup of Joe. We all chill. We talk some Lions. It's a good time. I appreciate you all for being here. And until next time, I'll catch you later on Let's Talk Lions. See you guys. See you, Graham. See you, Kyle. See you, Wolfster. Alan, appreciate you all. Owen, catch you next time.